Your choice.
Titans, Chargers, Sunday at 3:30 on News Channel 5.
Tonight, batting leadoff in Campaign 08, the voters of Iowa. Democrats Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton look to make history, while John Edwards hopes to make 5 years of campaigning pay off. I'm Katie Couric in Des Moines, and it's caucus night in Iowa. John McCain's riding the comeback express with Mitt Romney out to derail him. But first, he has to hope Mike Huckabee fails to get out his vote. And now critics are accusing Rudy Giuliani of trying to scare up votes.
Osama bin Laden still making threats.
So, after months of nonstop campaigning, the voting begins.
This is the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric reporting tonight from the Law Library at the Iowa State Capitol in Des Moines.
Good evening, everyone. It's a beautiful night here, but cold. The wind chill could make it feel below zero. It is clear, though, and that's why many are saying it's a good night to caucus. It's the first voting of Campaign 08 as Americans choose a new president. We have a team of correspondents deployed to bring you every angle of this critically important story. First, Dean Reynolds with the Obama campaign. Dean?
Good evening, Katie. Well, with the big night finally at hand, no one is willing to predict victory, but there is an undeniable skip in Barack Obama's step.
Give me a little room here. Amid a crush of reporters this afternoon, Barack Obama and his wife Michelle did some last-minute shopping for votes.
Are you caught us in that?
Yes, I am.
On television.
I will always tell you where I stand and what I think.
On radio.
So Obama is the strongest candidate to win in November.
And on the ground. The campaign believes the more undecideds and first-timers balloon the turnout.
And very much hope to support Senator Obama.
The better for Obama.
I offer to carry them myself. I'll come over and carry them to the caucus if that's needed.
All this for a guy who seems to have undergone a confidence transplant. Here's Obama months ago.
I know that many of you are still shopping for a candidate. I hope you will caucus for me.
And with promising polls in his pocket, Obama now.
I beat Mitt and Rudy and Fred and John and Mike. I beat them all.
Of course, 4 years ago, Howard Dean was counting on a big turnout that never happened, and he went screaming into the night. Barack Obama is hoping that the caucus will give him reason to just cheer. Katie?
Dean Reynolds. Dean, thanks. Meanwhile, at the Hillary Clinton campaign, the mood is much more cautious. Jim Axelrod is covering her campaign. Jim, have expectations been diminished there?
Well, Katie, I wouldn't say the Clinton campaign is exactly brimming with confidence. In fact, I talked to one advisor who says it's fairly simple to construct a scenario in one of which her top two rivals walk away the big winner.
Figuring there's nothing to do but wait for results, Hillary Clinton had a relatively quiet day, taking her family to lunch. If her point, that she's got the best experience to be president, hasn't been made by now, it's too late. But voters also say this election's about change, and despite months of saying that experience is precisely what's needed to produce change.
I've been working to make change for 35 years.
Poll after poll indicates Iowa's Democrats see Obama as the better agent of change.
A high-level source in the Clinton campaign explains it like this. In their view, people voting for Hillary Clinton are voting for president. People choosing Obama are voting for a feeling. And in Iowa, at least, that feeling just may be too much to overcome. Katie?
Jim Axelrod. Thank you, Jim. John Edwards, meanwhile, is hoping Democrats will think of him as the candidate of change. Chip Reed is with the Edwards campaign. And Chip, he's mounting a full-court press right to the end, isn't he?
Oh, he sure is, Katie. He spent the day doing what he does best, which is getting crowds of supporters worked into an absolute frenzy. But, of course, all that enthusiasm means nothing if the people don't actually go to the caucus. So they had more than 1,000 people out there pounding the pavement, knocking on doors, many of them union workers. I spent the day with a couple of steel workers, and I asked one of them why he's doing this, why he feels so strongly about John Edwards.
The fact is that the little people have been pushed around too much, you know. We're tired, there's homeless people, there's hungry people. This is not imaginary.
And Edwards has staked so much on Iowa, and his campaign officials are nervous. They understand if there is that big turnout tonight, that's great news for Barack Obama, bad news for John Edwards. Katie?
All right, thank you, Chip Reed. Turning now to the Republicans, Bill Whitaker is covering Mitt Romney's campaign. Bill, is Romney already focusing on next Tuesday in New Hampshire?
That's right, Katie. Romney spent a full day campaigning here, trying hard, hoping to win, but clearly he's ready to move on.
Hi, how are you?
He hasn't yet folded his tents in Iowa, and already Romney is turning his sights and firepower on the next battle, New Hampshire.
Nice to see you, Will.
Today, launching a missile at chief rival John McCain.
His record in the U.S. Senate leaves a lot to be desired.
He's unleashed a barrage since McCain first tied, then passed him in state polls. Emails to reporters blasting McCain.
He opposed the Bush tax cuts twice.
Ads on the web, on TV.
He even voted to allow illegal immigrants to collect Social Security.
Full of information, political watchdog factcheck.org has called false and misleading.
He's attacking McCain for a bill that he himself once called reasonable.
Romney's hanging tough.
If Senator McCain considers that an attack on him, why, that's kind of unusual because it only describes important issues and what his positions are.
In just the last 2 weeks, Romney has spent about $1 million in New Hampshire on ads going after McCain, ads that have run roughly 300 times already. Katie?
Bill Whitaker also here in Des Moines. Bill, thank you. As for John McCain, he is clearly enjoying his newfound status as the comeback kid. Kelly Cobiella is covering his candidacy. Kelly, Mitt Romney is clearly trying to get under John McCain's skin lately, isn't he?
On trying to court some more Iowa voters at an ice cream shop this morning. The senator is already back in New Hampshire tonight. A new poll there puts him in the lead in next week's primary. He jumped from third to first in a matter of 4 months. A dramatic comeback for a campaign that last summer was on life support.
I'll tell you something. We got it out of the... It's great to be back here at the Blue Bunny in the ice cream capital of the world.
If John McCain's campaign had an official flavor, it would have to be rocky road. Not that you could tell lately.
He's very inspiring.
The Arizona Republican is on a roll, winning over party faithful like Denise Jennett. She was lukewarm on McCain just last month. Now she's vowing to caucus for him.
And what made you change your mind? I decided he could win.
In Iowa, the polls show him a strong third, despite having spent little money or time here. 23 visits since the last presidential election, compared to Mitt Romney's 43.
I think he's going to do well, not only here and in New Hampshire, but throughout the country.
The edge for McCain appears to be character. The Republican voters we spoke to don't necessarily agree with him on all of the issues, but all of them say they respect him and his experience. Katie.
Kelly Cobiella in Urbandale, Iowa. Kelly, thank you. While the Iowa caucuses may whittle down the field, they may also signify the reemergence of Rudy Giuliani, who has largely ignored this state. Byron Pitts is covering the Giuliani campaign in Miami tonight. Byron, I understand his new TV ad is creating a lot of controversy.
Katie, that's right. This new ad paints a picture of a dangerous world. A world in which Giuliani can portray himself as the national security candidate.
Using a new phrase in the campaign trail, the 9/11 generation, to describe life today in America, the Giuliani campaign released this new TV ad, now airing in New Hampshire and Florida. It portrays a dangerous world, focusing on Islamic terrorism and even Benazir Bhutto's assassination.
Leaders assassinated. Democracy attacked.
Supporters call it a play to his strength. Critics call it a scare tactic. Analysts say it may be his last best weapon.
It's an Armageddon ad. It basically takes voters by the lapel and shakes them and says, this is why you once supported me. You'd better do so again.
The Giuliani people believe this new ad will give them new energy in New Hampshire, something this campaign has lacked in recent weeks. Katie?
Byron Pitts in Miami tonight. Meanwhile, it is a two-man race here in Iowa between Mike Huckabee and Mitt Romney. That's what many people believe anyway. Nancy Cordes is following the Huckabee campaign. Nancy?
Katie, Mike Huckabee in these final few days has taken to downplaying expectations, saying a first, second, even third place finish would be remarkable. But make no mistake, he really does need a first place finish here to move forward. We saw again today the kind of retail politics that he excels at when he's one-on-one with voters or when he's speaking in his very compelling style about his socially conservative views or his populist approach. But in order to mount a national campaign, he needs money and he needs staff and he needs it fast. And a first place finish would bring that to him.
Nancy Cordes, thank you very much. Back here in Iowa, Republican Fred Thompson today angrily denied reports he'll drop out if he does poorly in the caucuses. That's the top story of our CBS News Campaign 08 notebook. Thompson himself fueled the speculation yesterday when he seemed to indicate with a gesture that he needed to finish second to stay in the race. But today, Thompson blamed GOP rivals for spreading rumors to suppress his turnout.
They see the freight train coming, and they're just trying to dishonestly do something about it.
On the first night back for the late-night talk shows, two candidates showed their lighter sides. Mike Huckabee on Jay Leno, Hillary Clinton on David Letterman.
Dave has been off the air for 8 long weeks because of the writers' strike. Tonight, he's back. Oh, well, all good things come to an end.
What I love most and for the first time, the Iowa caucuses have gone YouTube. For months, political junkies have uploaded footage of themselves to the website.
So this is my first caucus, and I am ferociously excited about it.
Tonight, in partnership with the Des Moines Register, YouTube is encouraging voters to bring cameras with them so the entire world can see what it's like to caucus. And you can get the inside story from our reporters and producers in the field on their blogs, as well as the latest results from Iowa, all at cbsnews.com. There is much more CBS News ahead from Iowa. Coming up next, we'll caucus with the caucusers.
It seems that the United States is hated or feared in much of the world, so I want a candidate that can change that.
This time of year, my dandruff really shows.
And my old shampoo didn't stop the itch, so I switched.
Selsun Blue, doctor recommended for flakes and itch. Aloe and moisturizers for healthy hair and scalp.
Never wear black without the blue.
Selsun Blue.
Check out Sleeping Beauty.
What happens when you clean your windows more often with Windex? Its streak-free shine lets in more light.
This is not my house. This is not my house.
For a streak-free shine, use Windex.
Is that the hearty chicken rotini diet?
It's the Manhattan clam chowder diet.
It's different. It's the turkey noodle diet. It's working for you.
Counting calories never tasted better because 25 of your favorite Progresso soups are 100 calories per serving.
Is that chicken and wild rice? Yes.
How would you like to win $5,000 from Publishers Clearinghouse every single week for the rest of your life?
You're lying.
Enter at PCH.com or by mail, and you could win for life.
Cholesterol. It can come from a casserole, creamy tuna and peas, and your grandmother, Louise. From mom's lasagna, extra cheesy, and your pop, Petey. A healthy diet is important. When that's not enough, adding Vytorin can help. Cholesterol comes from 2 sources, food and family. Vytorin treats 2 sources. Only Vytorin helps block the absorption of cholesterol from food and reduces the cholesterol your body makes naturally. Vytorin was also proven in clinical studies to lower bad cholesterol more than Lipitor alone. Vytorin is not for everyone, including people with liver problems, women who are nursing, pregnant, or may become pregnant. Tell your doctor right away about unexplained muscle pain or weakness, which may be a sign of a rare but serious side effect. Certain medicines or foods may increase your risk of getting this serious side effect. Simple blood tests are needed to check for liver problems. So eat right, stay active, but if that's not enough, ask your doctor about adding Vytorin, the only medicine that treats the 2 sources of cholesterol.
Rushing around, working hard,
See you tomorrow.
taking care of our kids,
Wake up, Mom.
finding time for friends. All this makes us feel run down.
Did you know that a hectic life can weaken your body's defenses? Well, you can help strengthen them with Dan Active. Only Dan Active has L-KCI Immunitas that is clinically proven to help strengthen your body's defenses.
Dan Active.
helps strengthen your body's defenses. 25 studies have shown the effectiveness of Dan Active and LKCI Immunitas.
Back now from Iowa. In this presidential election year, a CBS News New York Times poll finds the #1 concern of American voters is the war in Iraq, followed by jobs and the economy. As Iowans prepared to go to the caucuses, we gathered a cross-section of voters from all over the state to find out what's really on their minds. Among our questions, what do you think is the most important issue?
Border control for the reason of national security.
I think that the world is increasingly complex and dangerous, and it seems that the United States is hated or feared in much of the world.
Health insurance, I'm a small business owner, and my premiums have gone up 20% a year.
Fixing the Social Security mess and taking away tax credits for the rich.
I'd have to probably go with immigration. I'm in education. Having so many illegal immigrants affects our education.
How do you feel about your role in the process?
Feel responsible for launching probably at least 6 people out of the 12 or so that will be the ones that we'll choose from nationally.
I find it a little bizarre that, frankly, that Iowans have so much power in this matter because the state's population is not representative.
Are you satisfied with the direction of the country?
At a macro level, I am satisfied with what we're doing. I think there are things, of course, that can always be changed.
I keep sitting here thinking politics as usual will not get us out of this horrible mess that we're in right now.
I have grandchildren, and the debt we're leaving them, I just think that's so unfair.
Our country's divided whether we want to believe it or not. We're constantly bickering.
This country does need change. Well, we need a leader. We don't need a politician. And I think that's the issue.
And tonight, Iowans will be able to tell the rest of the country who they believe that leader should be. And I'll be back from Des Moines with more news in a moment.
Who makes chicken noodle soup as good as your grandma?
I do, because I make it with Swanson broth.
Swanson broth is made with all natural chicken stock and the flavors of garden vegetables and herbs.
My secret is Swanson broth.
For more recipes, visit swansonbroth.com.
Have you heard about Miralax?
It's a different kind of laxative that's kind to your body.
Miralax relieves constipation with no bloating,
no cramping,
and now, no prescription.
Restore your body's natural rhythm with Miralax.
If you have a history of smoking and breathing problems, it could be COPD, which includes chronic bronchitis, emphysema, or both. Discover Spiriva, the only once-daily inhaled maintenance prescription that treats both forms of COPD. Spiriva significantly improves lung function to help you breathe better for a full 24 hours, and it's not a steroid. Spiriva is not a rescue inhaler. Tell your doctor about your medicines, even eye drops, and illnesses like glaucoma and urinary or prostate problems. These may worsen with Spiriva. The most common side effect is dry mouth. Others include constipation and problems passing urine. In the event your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes, or eye pain, stop taking Spiriva and call your doctor. Spiriva is one of many treatment options to consider with your doctor. So make a habit of breathing better with Spiriva.
It was so frustrating, like a mystery I couldn't solve. Night after night, strange sensations in my legs. I had to get up and move when all I wanted to do was rest. I had restless leg syndrome. My doctor said RLS symptoms usually get worse when it's time to relax. And then he said something else. Requip. He said Requip would help relieve those RLS symptoms that were making my nights so difficult. He told me what to watch for, that Requip may cause you to fall asleep or feel very sleepy during normal activities such as driving, or to faint or feel dizzy when you stand up. Tell your doctor if you experience these problems, or if you drink alcohol or are taking medicines that make you drowsy. Also, tell your doctor if you experience new or increased gambling, sexual, or other intense urges while taking Requip. Side effects may include nausea, drowsiness, vomiting, and dizziness. Thanks to Requip, the RLS mystery's not keeping me up anymore. Ask your doctor about Requip.
From Iowa now, we turn to news from overseas and the crisis in Kenya. There was new violence today as anti-government protesters tried to march into the capital, but they were stopped by riot police. The protesters claim Kenya's president stole last week's election. More than 300 people have been killed in the violence. Today, President Bush called on both sides to resolve the dispute. Now, tonight's CBS News Money Watch, Toyota has just become America's #2 automaker, pushing Ford out of that position for the first time in 75 years. Figures out today show Toyota outsold Ford last year by more than 48,000 cars and trucks. In California, the San Francisco Zoo reopened today, 9 days after a Siberian tiger escaped, killing one teenager and mauling 2 other people on Christmas Day. The area where the tiger was kept remains closed. It's being renovated to be made safer while authorities investigate what caused the attack. In other news, baseball great Roger Clemens is once again denying he ever used performance-enhancing drugs, even though the Mitchell report said he did. Here's a preview of Mike Wallace's exclusive 60 Minutes interview.
Did your former trainer, Brian McNamee, ever inject you with anything?
Yes, he did.
What?
Lidocaine and B12 is for my joints, and B12 I take still today. A lot of trainers have.
And that's all?
That's it.
Never a human growth hormone?
Never.
Never testosterone?
Never.
And never an anabolic steroid?
Never.
Swear?
Swear.
Mike's complete interview with Clemens airs this Sunday evening on 60 Minutes. Coming up next from Iowa, the latest on the caucuses, including analysis from 2 political pros, Bob Schieffer and Jeff Greenfield.
Winners, losers, and lessons learned in Iowa. What you can expect as the battle moves to New Hampshire. Tomorrow on the CBS Evening News with Katie Couric.
At work, I wear black. My old shampoo wasn't working, so I switched.
Selsun Blue, doctor recommended for flakes and itch.
Never wear black without the blue. Selsun Blue.
For ultimate daily care, try Selsun Blue Salon.
Bad sore throat pain? New Cepacol spray is a big shot of relief. Numbs pain instantly in just 1 shot. Old-fashioned sprays need 5. New Cepacol spray. The little spray that's a big shot of relief.
Serenity stretched their imagination and created protective underwear that hugs your body for a snug fit that provides secure protection. Serenity by Tenor. The protection you trust, now in underwear.
With me, a phytosterol, New Centrum Cardio is the only complete multivitamin that can lower cholesterol.
Great! Welcome to my team.
Our team.
Oh, right. I'm all about the team.
New cholesterol-lowering Centrum Cardio.
Burning, itchy. I should have used Preparation H.
And for extra relief, use Preparation H medicated wipes first. Unlike most ordinary wipes, they relieve while you clean. Then apply your Preparation H. Medicated wipes from Preparation H, the relief expert.
Honey! People with chronic constipation are on the move, thanks to prescription Amatiza. Amatiza gave a majority of people with chronic constipation relief within 24 hours. On average, people were able to go 5 to 6 times a week, compared to 3 to 4 times without Amatiza. Amatiza helps relieve symptoms like straining, abdominal discomfort, and bloating. Don't take Amatiza if you've ever had a bowel obstruction or have severe diarrhea. Women of childbearing age should have a negative pregnancy test and practice effective birth control due to the potential risk to the fetus. Talk to your doctor to evaluate the risks. In clinical studies, the most common side effects were nausea, diarrhea, and headache. Tell your doctor if you experience severe diarrhea or severe nausea. If chronic constipation slows you down, ask your doctor if you should move to Amatiza.
Check out Sleeping Beauty. What happens when you clean your windows more often with Windex? Its streak-free shine lets in more light.
This is not my house. This is not my house.
For a streak-free shine, use Windex.
Coming up in moments on News Channel 5 at 6, she was last seen leaving in her SUV to go shopping. Her vehicle left in a parking space. Is her husband the top suspect? The latest at 6.
Back now in Iowa, where the caucusing is about to begin, about 200,000 voters are expected to turn out at nearly 1,800 precincts. Let's bring in our two political veterans. Bob Schieffer is our chief Washington correspondent and anchor of Face the Nation. He's in New Hampshire for the primaries there, coming up in just 5 days. And joining me in Iowa, senior political correspondent Jeff Greenfield. Jeff, let me start with you. What is at stake tonight for the leading Democratic contenders?
For John Edwards, who's been here for 5 years, been to all 99 counties twice, he has to show well here to prove that he can compete with the better-known and better-financed rivals. Obama, a win here means that the politics of hope isn't some academic fantasy, but it's a hard-nosed political reality, because if he wins, he will have done it by bringing hordes of new voters in, which people have thought is impossible. For Hillary Clinton, the one-time Ms. Inevitability, if she loses here, what then? If the experience argument hasn't worked, does she go negative on Obama with 4 days to go before a primary? It puts a real problem on her campaign staff.
And let's do the same for the Republicans. What is at stake for them?
A Huckabee win a month ago would have been the shock of the year, but he's been ahead for a month, and right now a win for him is kind of what people expect. A Mitt Romney loss puts him in New Hampshire against a resurgent John McCain, and a loss back-to-back means he would have lost to two people who have spent less than his catering bill, because Romney has spent a fortune. That's a really bad scenario that Romney has to avoid.
Let's talk about how historically important Iowa has been to any candidacy.
For New Hampshire, it's kind of interesting. You know, Ronald Reagan in 1980, Gary Hart in 84, Bush and Dukakis in 88, Buchanan in 96, and John McCain in 2000 all lost Iowa, all won New Hampshire. Apparently, New England doesn't listen to the Midwest much, Katie.
Surprise, surprise. Meanwhile, Bob Schieffer, speaking of New England, all eyes will be on New Hampshire come Tuesday. Can you tell us a little bit about the mood in that state right now?
Right now, the story here, Katie, is John McCain. He's coming up in the polls. He's got the endorsement of, I think, 30-some-odd newspapers in the state. He got the endorsement of the Republican leader in the Senate today, and he is really clicking right now. I saw him just a while ago, and it's like the John McCain of 2000. He's feeling really good about this, and he ought to. Every sign points to a very good showing here. And the other thing, Katie, is every vote that Huckabee takes from Romney out there in Iowa just helps McCain here in New Hampshire. On the Democratic side, I have to say it's just still very, very close. I wouldn't even guess who the winner is going to be here on the Democratic side.
What do you think, Jeff, quickly, Democrats in New Hampshire? Will it depend on what happens here tonight?
I think less so, but I think the question here is whether whether Obama in New Hampshire, where Democrats have been more and more like reformers, they used to be much more like union members, it's become gentrified. That seems to me good news for Obama, because the electorate's more like a reform movement than the old-fashioned blue-collar types, which would probably help Hillary. But, Katie, that's a guess.
As is most things these days in politics. Jeff Greenfield, Bob Schieffer, thanks to both of you. And that is the CBS Evening News. We will have caucus updates for you throughout the evening. For now, I'm Katie Couric in Des Moines. I'll see you later.
For news 24 hours a day, click on CBSNews.com. Brought to you in part by Prilosec OTC. Want to keep your heartburn from coming back? Try Prilosec OTC, the only OTC heartburn remedy that works to block heartburn before it begins. For 24 hours with one pill a day. The round-the-clock heartburn blocker. CBS News. Experience you can trust.
New details tonight about the missing woman from Rutherford County and her husband.
Plus, a Fort Campbell soldier sits in jail tonight. Police say he was caught on tape abusing his stepson. Wait till you hear who turned him in.
And the man accused of viciously stabbing a Good Samaritan only days before Christmas finally has his day in court. I'm Rodney Dunnigan. I'll have the details in a live report.
And a Sumner County veterinarian now faces criminal charges for the way he allegedly put down thousands of unwanted shelter dogs and cats. I'm Jeff Tang. That story coming up in just a bit.
And stolen information from the Election Commission. A meeting is underway at this hour, and we are there.
And we're already getting started on another cold night, 31 degrees. Nashville at St. Thomas Hospital, and again tonight down in the teens. Your news begins now.
from your news and information leader, Tennessee's first and only local news in high definition. This is News Channel 5 at 6.
Good evening, everyone. Marcy Smith vanished nearly 1 month ago.
And police have not ruled out the possibility of foul play.
Or that perhaps her husband is involved. First on 5 tonight, we're learning new details about Palmer Smith.